So it's January, and even if you aren't big on making New Year's resolutions, I think a new year inevitably forces people to confront where they are in their life and where they want to be, myself included. So let's talk about my New Year's resolutions and how to actually make strides towards becoming the person you want to be. I'm going to try something new in this video with the split screen here, showing the art at the same time while I talk. And I'm not going to explain the art until the end of this video, so let me know what you think about this editing style. Now, I'm sure there's lots of actual stats on New Year's resolutions, like 80% of people fail by January 10th. But honestly, I don't know how anyone confirms these stats, and I also don't think you can actually fail a New Year's resolution until the last day of the year, because failing is part of advancing with new habits. So I'm going to tell you a little anecdote. I have worked in a lot of restaurants, and no matter where they were, no matter what type of food they were, one thing was true, which is that January and February are dead months. And that's not because people stop eating, it's because people make New Year's resolutions to eat out less, eat healthier, learn how to cook, lose weight, budget, whatever it may be. And every year, by March, the restaurants start filling up again. And I'm not complaining because I get more hours, I get more tips, but it does present some sort of unofficial proof that eventually most people seem to give up on their New Year's resolutions. How many years in a row have you made the same resolution and nothing changed? So I'm going to tell you some of my New Year's resolutions and how I'm actually going to complete them this year. So hopefully you can get inspired or use the tips I'm talking about to complete your own, or at least hold me accountable with mine. Now, I have plenty of New Year's resolutions that span across all of my various interests, but for the sake of staying on brand, I'm going to share two that relate to this channel. First, I want to become a better artist. And second, I want to make some form of profit off my art. But naming them is the easy part. This is where I think a lot of people fail. Your goals are too broad, they're not flexible, and most importantly, you're not prepared to fail. If you actually want to succeed in implementing a New Year's resolution, be prepared to fail, because you're gonna fail. You're trying to do something new and something that will make you better, and changing is hard, especially when you are completely forming a new habit. So you have to be willing to reassess. Let's break down everything I just said. First, I want to become a better artist. What the heck does that mean? That has so many interpretations. Does that mean I want to become literally more skilled? Does it mean I want to make more art? Does it mean I want to be able to create more art I like? For every New Year's resolution you make, you need to dig deeper and break down the why and what. So let's get specific with my first resolution. I want to become a better artist. Why? Because I love making art, and despite having always loved making art, I don't think I do it enough. And I think I play too many mental games when it comes to creating. And I have a lot of ideas that excite me that in the past years I've just kind of let die out because I let them go in my head for too long and procrastinate making them. So to solve this, I want to become a better artist. Specifically, what I mean is, first, I want to make art before I have time to talk myself out of it. In other words, not letting ideas go to waste and not putting my ideas on a to make later list. Because I think if you keep shoving your good ideas aside, you'll eventually stop having them. And if I keep letting myself talk myself out of making art, I'll never stay consistent and build up the skills necessary to actually get better. Also, this could definitely be debated in an entire video of its own, but I think you're gonna do a better job executing an idea if you work on it right away when you're passionate and excited about it, rather than waiting until you are ready. So, one way I want to become a better artist is I want to make art when I have the ideas, instead of convincing myself to wait until a better time, even if that means the idea won't be executed perfectly. Second, I want to go on more art adventures. I want to have more fun making art. I want to challenge my ideas and have a sketchbook filled with memories of good times and not just times where I was overthinking in my bedroom. I think it'll make me a better artist if every time I'm out and about, I'm thinking about making. And there's literally no reason why I can't be the type of person to make art every day. And I think allowing art to be a fun experience will make me want to make more art. To elaborate my last goal, third, I want to make more art in general. If you watched my art tour of 2021, you'll hear me mention so many times that I'm genuinely shocked at how little I actually made during the year. But if you don't create something every week, let's say, you're not even making 50 pieces of art. And how can you get better at something you never do? Obviously, practicing more will help me improve my skills and therefore make me a better artist. But becoming a better artist isn't all about technical skills. It's about reintegrating being an artist into my personality. Like, I want to be a kid who can't stop scribbling again. Because it's in me, I just hold it back. And this goal matters because in general, I want to be a more consistent person. Not just with art, but with everything I do. And finally, 4, I want to take more risks with my art. I think becoming a better artist to me isn't about having an iconic style that people want to emulate. It's about advancing. That may mean people hate your art or you hate your art for a period of time. But your art in the beginning of the year versus the end of the year should be different. That doesn't mean like, you can't have a recognizable style or month to month your art won't kind of look like it's all made by you. I just mean I don't want to be stuck or scared to change because I'm not the same person after an entire year of living, and I don't think my art should look the same after an entire year of creating. And so I need to take more risks in my art to become a better artist because otherwise I'll just be making a lot of the same. Now I'm going to get specific with my second resolution. I want to make some form of profit with my art. This is so vague, so let's break that down. First, I want to make 1 cent off YouTube. Now, I don't actually care about making it big or making millions off YouTube. And even if I don't make any money off this channel, it's already brought me so many benefits. Like, my art has improved so much because I was posting on here. I recently checked my social blade for this YouTube channel, and it estimated I wouldn't even have 750 subscribers by 2026. Now, right now, I don't really care if my channel makes me money, but I think that after another 4 years of posting, if I'm not getting any type of monetary benefits, I think that's a little bit of a waste when I could easily turn this into a source of income if I just focus and stay consistent. So I would like to get monetized by the end of the year. And I don't plan on going anywhere this year, but eventually I'd love to have the freedom to make money remotely, and I'd like to be able to travel and make money, and long term, I'd like to be able to not have to worry if the world shuts down again. So a source of income like YouTube would be awesome for all that. I would just like to set that dream into motion so I can start making money off YouTube by 2023. I can reassess that goal later. Basically, that was a lot of words to say. I would like to get my channel monetized by the end of this year. I don't care if I make money off it. I would just like to get to the point where next year I could be making money off it. I think this goal is more important than just making money, because to actually get my channel monetized, I have to stay consistent with posting. And to stay consistent with posting is to stay consistent with a dream, which is important to me because I lose motivation very quickly with stuff like this. And I think having a monetary goal that requires me to stay consistent is just healthy for me and will train my brain to stick to things. Second, I would like to open an online shop and make 1 sale this year. Whether it be stickers, prints, clothing, whatever, I would just like to start. And again, I don't care about turning the shop into my main source of income right now. I would just like to stop holding off on starting because I have ideas all the time for things I would like to make, and oftentimes it's just like clothes I want to wear, but I just don't want to be holding off on doing it. And so I think forcing myself to make a shop and try to make 1 sale, will help me start making motion towards making something, if that makes sense. Okay, so now if you're watching this to start making work on your own resolutions, maybe you get what I'm saying when I say get specific. Not on how you're going to achieve your resolutions, but on what your resolutions really mean. Like the beginning example, if your resolution is to stop eating out, list the reasons why you actually want to do it. So I want to stop eating out because I want to be healthier. That's very different than I want to learn how to cook or I want to save money. And you're going to have different reasons for keeping it up and different ways to achieve that dream. Because when you have a vague resolution, I think it's really easy to convince yourself you're making progress or just to give up. If you stop eating out, but all you eat is junk food at home and your actual goal was to be healthier, you haven't made any progress. Another example, in 2021, I became a better artist, but I literally spent months not making art. And that's not good enough for me because part of my definition of becoming a better artist is to make more art in general and not to have these incomplete ideas because I'm scared. So yeah, get specific with your resolutions. The next way to make sure you don't fail your New Year's resolutions is to actually make numeric goals that are up to you and be flexible but steadfast. This may sound like contradictions, but let me explain. First, make number goals that are up to you. So for my YouTube channel, saying I want to get monetized, so that means I need 1,000 subscribers. I can't actually give myself 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. What I can do is make numeric goals that I can control that can help get me closer to my monetization goal. So like to post a certain amount of videos in a month. Similar is like if your goal is to get healthier. You can't make your goal a number on the scale because you can't control that actually. And if you try to, you're probably holding yourself back from becoming healthier because, you know, like gaining muscle gains weight, right? Some bodies are meant to hit a certain number, but if you instead make your goal to eat 2 healthy meals out of 3 a day, or to work out a certain amount of times a week, you know, that's a numerical you can control that still gets you to your end goal. All of that being said, I do think making yearly number goals is dumb to some degree because I think so much changes within a year and so much changes, you know, even within a few weeks. Like, I think it's better to make specific goals for the present and then loose, flexible goals for the future. So what I mean by that is, say, like, you know, I want to get better with portraits. So I challenge myself to draw a realistic face study every day, which is a crazy challenge. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, imagine that's your goal. But I'd say after like, I don't know, 2 months, you're probably gonna plateau. And then you're just wasting your time. You're not becoming a better artist. You're just building up a repertoire of drawing realistic faces that may actually be holding you back from becoming a better artist. And eventually you get bored of doing the same thing every single day, and then you quit your challenge. And so in the end, you're holding yourself back from growth. So for example, with my own goals, I want my channel to get monetized. For the year, my goal currently is to post 8 videos a month. At least I want to stay strict to this for January. But maybe in February, I have an awesome big video idea that I can't make in a week. So I hold back on creating it because it doesn't make sense for me to take the time to work on that because I want to stay consistent with my 8 videos a month goal and I want to put out more content. Well, that doesn't work because it's literally steering me away from my main goal of growing my channel. So again, flexible goals. I need to post 8 videos a month unless I have a better reason not to, and laziness does not count. Be healthy and realistic with your goals because otherwise you will fail. I experimented with this number a bit in November and December, and I discovered that while making 8 videos a month isn't the easiest for me, it's very possible if I stay consistent, and that's how you should make your numeric resolutions. Ones that are just out of reach. So let's go back to my own goals. I want to become a better artist. You know, not just in visual art, but also in video making and writing and other things. But as far as visual art, here's how I plan to do this numerically. First, I want to not let any idea linger in my head for longer than a week. This may sound strange, but what I mean is if I have an idea, even if I don't feel like it's ready to paint or I don't feel like I'm skilled enough to make it, I need to get it down and start working on it. Even if it's just a quick sketch in my sketchbook. Like let's say it's a painting idea that includes a body of water. I need to practice within a week painting water. Obviously, I have an unachievable amount of ideas that I want to make every single week, but I'm not saying I need to create some big perfect piece that is the exact thing I had in my head. All I'm saying is that I need to do a quick doodle or thumbnail or practice that helps me get closer to getting the idea out of my head when I'm still passionate about it. Because actually making art I want to make will make me a better artist. And sitting on ideas until they aren't relevant to me anymore does not fit who I want to be in 2022. Second, I want to have more fun with my art. So, to put this into a numeric achievable goal, I want to try and draw outside my house at least once a week, even if it's just a scribble on a receipt that was in my pocket while I'm sitting on the bus to work. I don't care. But what I do know is that making art outside my house is so much fun, and even if it's like more work than just lazily doodling in my bed, it helps fuel new creative ideas and it changes how I experience days, all of which I feel like would make me a better artist and a more consistent artist. Third, I want to make more art in general. Specifically, I want to try and sit down and make marks every day. I'm not talking a big finished painting. I'm saying I don't want to go one day this year where I don't even put pencil down to make a line on paper. If I decide after that I don't want to draw, that's okay. But I want to be consistent because I think it'll make me a better artist and a better person. And if I actually convince myself to sit down in front of a piece of paper with a pencil and make a mark, I think it'll convince me to make something. Now, you have to give yourself some leeway with your numeric goals. Like saying I'm going to make a new big piece of art every day is unrealistic, even if it only takes me a few hours to make a piece of art. Because what if I want to work on a big piece and it takes me multiple days? But for me, saying I want to make a mark every day, I want to sit in front of a piece of paper and make a mark with any mark making medium. That's realistic, but still a challenge for me because sometimes I go weeks where I don't sit in front of my sketchbook. My final tip, and honestly I think my most important tip to not fail your New Year's resolutions, is be prepared to fail your New Year's resolutions and to reassess every month maybe. Like, you're going to fail. Any new habit that you are trying to form, you're gonna fail. Be prepared because making a change is so much harder than not advancing. If you want to wake up earlier, you're gonna sleep in some days. You're gonna have late nights you can't control and be tired some mornings, and it won't be worth it to wake up earlier. You're going to fail. So reassess every month. Figure out what's realistic, what actually betters you, and keep yourself accountable. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, by March, all the restaurants fill back up every year. So what I'm suggesting is, instead of failing in March and then waiting until next January to try and not eat out as much, fail in March and do better in April. Fail March 13th and do better March 14th. Reassess as often as you need to. Maybe every first of the month, whatever you need. Don't beat yourself up and call the entire year a wash because you fail one day or 1 month even. Like, I wanted to make way more art in 2021 and I went months without drawing. But then in November and December, I was making art like crazy and my actual art making skills propelled in that period at the end of the year. And if I had just decided to wait until January because I had already failed, I wouldn't have gotten anywhere and I would have held myself back. The real question you should be asking when it comes to New Year's resolutions, or just becoming the person you want to be any time of the year, is not how do you not fail, it's what you're gonna do to get back on track when you do fail. You need to have systems in place that remind you of why you're working hard. And you need to be willing to keep trying even when it's so much easier to give up. So you may have noticed I'm trying something new for this video, doing a little split screen thing. And even though I never mentioned it, I've included footage of me painting while I talk. So let me quickly explain this painting for a second. The other day, I had no ideas for something to draw. And I was sitting on the SkyTrain, just holding my pencil above my paper, waiting for something to come to me basically. And I was staring out the window and I saw my face in the reflection at the same time as seeing the mountains go by. And that's basically what this painting is. It's an idea I sketched out as soon as I had it. It's from an adventure, one that inspired an idea I couldn't have imagined otherwise. And rather than just forget it, I decided to use it as painting footage for this video. So that's what this is. The painting itself has nothing to do with New Year's resolutions, but the reason for painting it has everything to do with them. Anyways, I don't know how many of you actually made it this far, but if you did, thank you for everyone who stuck with my inconsistency on YouTube for the past 2 years or so. And thank you for listening to me ramble in this video. Good luck with your New Year's resolutions and Happy New Year. Bye-bye.